When Cameron Dicker nailed this epic fair catch kick, many fans pointed at their TV and wondered,
What is happening? Why do they get a free kick? What the f is this?
Well, if you are a diehard fan of the Feetsball or this channel, you probably already knew about the fair catch kick rule and simply watched with glee as it unfolded.
Here I come.
But today we're gonna take your knowledge of obscure NFL rules to the limit with the help of a special guest. Can you fly around the pylon and score a TD? Is the annexation of Puerto Rico a legal play? How well do you know your NFL rulebook shit? All that is coming up right after this. Do you remember what it's like to be a kid opening a pack of football or baseball cards and the thrill of finding that Bo Jackson rated rookie card? Before you ripped it open, the possibilities were endless. But now with Arena Club, you can relive that feeling every Tuesday and Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific time. This is so cool. It's the merging of the digital and physical world without the hassle of having to leave your house. Check this out. This slab pack drops on Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. So let's see what I got. Ooh, okay. I got Jackson Smith and Jigba and Zach Charbonnet rookie combo card and a Derek Thomas Panini Select 2019. These are real cards I can have shipped to my house right now if I want. Check it, with slab packs, it's possible to score gem mints at a fraction of their retail price, and Arena Club is the only repack that provides real value, a complete view of all cards, and clear hit rates for each one. This is a game changer. So after this video, you can get 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase by going to arenaclub.com/5points and using promo code 5points. Trust me, in this life, you need a promo code. Again, you can get 20% off your first slab pack by going to arenaclub.com/5points and using promo code 5points. Did you know that if a field goal goes completely through the uprights but doesn't touch the ground or an object behind the goalpost but then goes back through the uprights, the attempt is no good? Yes, if the wind does crazy shit to the ball and pushes it back through the uprights, it's not a good kick. The ball also has to go completely through the uprights, so if it bounces around the goalpost and then somehow sits on them and doesn't fall behind in some Looney Tunes type madness or a standard Bears postseason field goal, the kick is no good. Also, I didn't know this before, but if there is an unblocked missed field goal attempt from inside the 20 and it falls short of the end zone but nobody touches it, the opposing team gets the ball from their 20, not the spot at the kick. This must have been a rule for back in the day when kickers were really weak, as you would rarely see this in the modern NFL. Well, unless Graham Gano is kicking. It's kind of like a touchback. And finally, for this section, did you know that there is no set distance for how far behind the line of scrimmage a field goal attempt can take place? That's right, for a field goal, as long as the attempt takes place behind the line, the kick can take place from anywhere, even 90 yards back if they wanted to. However, it seems that everyone got together and decided that 7 to 8 yards is the magic distance, you know, to prevent blocks and all that stuff. Okay, say a holder did line up 90 yards behind the line of scrimmage. The ball can actually bounce before it reaches the holder. However, the placeholder has to have it put down for a valid field goal attempt. A kicker cannot just run up and kick a loose ball on the ground. That is called illegal kicking, aka a Kareem Hunt. But back to my original point, as long as the ball snapped anywhere behind the line of scrimmage, it's a good attempt. Speaking of snaps, a snap can only go to someone behind the line of scrimmage. I know this seems simple, but the center can't simply lateral the ball to the right guard and let them run with it, or keep it himself by stuffing it into his own body cavity. Which brings me on to the next question. Is the annexation of Puerto Rico a legal play? What a segue. Listen, I am assuming you know about the movie The Little Giants, where a vastly undersized and literally undermanned Giants team beats a talented Cowboys team on a trick play. Though it seems like the last time that happened was in a fictional 90s movie, the trick play the Giants used was called the annexation of Puerto Rico. Let's watch it super fast. So is this a legal play in the NFL? No, but not because of the snap, which actually goes to a running back behind the line of scrimmage. The play is illegal because if the Little Giants were in the NFL, the center cannot advance a fumble, which occurred when they placed the ball on the ground at the beginning of the play. The player who took the snap is the only player who can advance it, because in 1978, the Holy Roller play happened and they changed the rule. Now, if the running back would have sneakily handed the ball back to urinating Tree's illegitimate son and he held it next to his calf, having never touched the ground, it would have been a legal play. Now, to be clear, this play is legal in youth football, just not the NFL. What? The NFL hates the fumble rooski?
It's a fumble. Fumble-laya. Sergeant Fumbleina Wilkerson fumbles the ball.
Speaking of rules that got changed, let's look at a few that are no longer rules that only diehard fans would know. Did you know that back in the day, the non-scoring team could decide to kick the ball away after they just got scored on? Yes, in the NFL's early days, team captains would meet in the middle of the field after a touchdown and decide who would kick off. I couldn't find the verbiage on this old rule, but back in the early days, kicking off after getting scored on might have been a viable strategy if you knew you had a good defense and wanted to play the field position game, which kind of makes no sense because you just got fucking scored on. So why do you think kicking off to them after being scored on is a good idea? Or maybe your offense really sucked and you knew they had a terrible punter and that would be the only way you could score. This sounds like something Joe Judge or Marty Morningweg would do.
Detroit wins the toss. They give the Bears the ball. The Lions win the toss but never get the ball.
Whatever. This last obscure rule has been on my mind for a long time, so much so that I had to ask former NFL head of officiating Dean Blandino about it. Instead of telling you the rule, let me just let you guess. Here's the setup. A runner has broken free and is now running towards the end zone. He sees a defender approaching him and has the ball in his left hand. He sees the defender go low and, like many players today, leaps into the air towards the goal line. As he is in the air and falling out of bounds, he switches his hands and extends the ball towards the pylon. However, he is able to put the ball down in the end zone around the pylon and then lands completely out of bounds. The ball sits in the end zone while he himself rolls off to the side. Now, is this a touchdown? Go ahead, write your answer down. Just kidding, I don't care. Just think about it. Think about it. Is it a touchdown? What do you think? Well, the rule states that the ball must go through the front of the end zone inside the pylon. And Dean confirmed that for me.
The ball doesn't cross inside or over the pylon, it's not a touchdown. So he would have to, even if he's out of bounds airborne, he would have to reach that ball back in and it would have to cross over or inside the pylon. So if he just reaches it after he crosses the pylon and it just happens to break the plane of the sideline over the end zone, that would not be a score.
I made a video about this years ago and incorrectly assumed that just placing the ball over the end zone would be a touchdown because there is a pylon at the back of the end zone. Well, according to Dean, I was completely wrong. But in this scenario, it's still not a touchdown. According to Dean, he has to get a body part down in the end zone. Now, what if he touches it down in the end zone itself, though, but does not land no part of him reestablishes, like the ball physically touches the end zone? Is that now a touchdown?
No, he's got to get a body part down in the end zone. He can't just reach and just tap the ball in the end zone if the ball hadn't crossed inside or over the pylon.
But the whole ball touches the end zone. Still not a touchdown.
Still got to get it over inside the pylon. The airborne player, that is the requirement. That's the requirement.
Yes, this is a freaking wild scenario. It's anime shit. And it will never happen, but you know what? It's fun to dream about hypothetical things. So, are you a diehard fan? And did you know about these rules? Either way, thanks for watching. And please subscribe. Please subscribe. Please.